I've only found one thing that works better than video. It's Google My Business. If I speak into my phone, burritos near me, Google knows where I am and it's going to show me all the best results in my vicinity. You want the same thing to happen for you and your business. This is that video. Hello, welcome to the Digital Communications Broadcast Podcast. My name is Anthony Prichard and I'm your host. Today my guest is visiting Denver from India, Paritosh Pareek from UXDesignExperts.com. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for having me. I really appreciate you having me here, and I hope we'll be able to deliver some good value for our audience today.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is local SEO. What is it? What is it not? And how can your business follow the local SEO roadmap to generate authentic leads fairly easily?
Fairly easily as compared to, the search engine optimization that we've been introduced to in past so many years.
Blog writing,
Yep.
and on-page and off-page.
I won't say that, it's not a part of local SEO, but it is not as complicated as it used to be for the search engine optimization.
Yeah, right. So the question is then, what is local SEO?
That's a good point to start with, and I think how I would like to start is that we are living in an online world, right? Where having an online effort is no more of an option, right? So local SEO is a good way to start doing that. Now, to start with, what is local SEO? First of all, let me help you with what local SEO is not, right? It's not some easy technique to get online sales, right? It is not some easy way to overcome the importance of SEO or all the other efforts. It's just a good way to reach out to your local customers, right? Basically, local SEO stands for, again, the local search engine optimization. And what it means is that your business should be optimized to be able to reach your local customer when they are searching for you. That is important, because
just as my example in the introduction, if I'm looking for a burrito, I don't want to travel halfway across town to feed myself,
that's right.
quickly.
Yep, that's correct. So I think that's what local SEO is about, and it is very important for the local businesses because they strive upon their local customers, and it's a good way to reach out to them, to have a reputation maintained with them, and which allows them to bring the existing customers back, plus to bring new customers back. That too very easily, where you can rely on Google for actually doing that for you.
So how does a local business choose their geographic area?
So let's say we are currently in Denver area, right? Denver Tech Center.
We kind of have to do an analysis of our competitors and our customers to determine
Absolutely.
where are the boundaries.
That's the first thing, that till what area, how your competitors are doing it, what kind of a radius they have chosen, what kind of a radius you want to cater to. And I can say one very important thing, that as business owners, people are very emotional about their businesses, and that I get it, right? Even I am. But the fact is that you need to be practical about setting these boundaries and radiuses, that till what area you want to serve. Obviously, I want to for example, I want to teach local SEO to the whole world, but that's going to take at least some time, right? So I have to set my boundaries, start reaching out to local people first, then keep on moving my radius. And that's the similar concept that we are going to apply here for setting up the radius for our local businesses.
So if you do house cleaning or you sell coffee or pizza, it's going to be smaller than if you're doing bone orthopedics or
Absolutely.
maybe contacts or...
Absolutely. I mean, see, a car dealer can have a bigger radius as compared to a coffee shop, right? Because when somebody is in that area, then only they're looking for a coffee shop. When they're going to meet somebody in some particular area, they're going to look for a coffee shop.
So I guess in general, the higher ticket item you have to sell, the larger your geographic area. That could be a rule of thumb.
Yep, that can be a rule of thumb. It doesn't apply to all of it, but yeah, it can be a good rule of thumb, because that's how it's worked.
Great. Well, let's just look at our digital roadmap. We just talked about the defined geographic area,
Right.
and
Next is that
the best way to generate authentic leads easily.
That's right.
We covered that as well. Keyword research. Where do we start? Where do we begin? How do we know which ones are the ones for us?
let me start by saying that keyword research is the most important, most critical piece of element when it comes to online marketing, online success. Doesn't matter whether it is local SEO, paid ads, Google PPC, anything, right? You need to have a local keyword research. Now, how and why it's important, let me make you guys understand with an example. We had a customer, right, who used to rank for thermoplastoelastomers. Yep, I will repeat it for you. It's thermoplastoelastomers. I don't know what that is, but they used to manufacture that. Now, and they were ranking one on the first page, first rank for that particular keyword, right? And they came to us with a question that we are ranking on first page and still we are not getting results. Because, and the first analysis we did was because their users were searching for TPE, which is basically a short form for thermoplastoelastomers, right? So this keyword analysis or this keyword research is all about the fact that what your users are looking for, not what you think they will look for you as.
Yeah.
So what they are looking for,
Not what you call it, but what they call it.
Exactly.
Well, let's break down the anatomy of keyword research.
Yep. So I think first of all it starts with brainstorming with the owners and the major stakeholders in the business itself, that what do they sell. For example, let's take an example of a coffee shop, right? So they are selling coffee, of course, and then they're selling some pretzels and some of the other things, and they have a sitting area, they offer some meeting rooms, stuff like that. So these are the core services that they are providing, right? Or maybe like if we take an example of a lawyer or an attorney, right? So they are, let's say, going for the immigration lawyer, right? So they are they will be providing services like immigration applications, consultation on visas, or if you need to reappeal for some issues with the immigration or the USCIS, right? So that's what they do, and these are the core services. So first you need to define these core services that you are offering to your customers, right? And the immediate next step is that your list of modifiers. And when I say modifiers, it means that immigration lawyer, if that's going to be your core word, immigration lawyer, right? Or a coffee shop, right? But now people must be looking for good pretzels along with a coffee shop
Or
something
cafe.
like that. Cafes, right?
Right.
Or a place where I can have meetings or something like that.
Immigration problems, or
Right.
I'm going to be deported soon.
Right.
Or
So let's
how do I avoid?
let's put it. The easier way to understand this is that let's call it a hub and spoke model, right?
Okay.
So the core keyword term is going to be the hub, right? And all the modifiers are going to be the spoke, which are related to that.
Yeah.
And then comes the most important part in the local SEO, which is the location. So if I'm going to search for an immigration lawyer in Denver, but I'm searching in Manhattan and it shows me the result of an immigration lawyer in Manhattan, that is of no good use for me, because obviously I need an immigration lawyer in Denver, right? So searching for an immigration lawyer in Denver, adding the location, the specific part of the location. Let's say if you have any other common reference, for example, in near Denver Tech Center, right? It's an old strategy, but people still use near me kind of keywords as well, because that's what you do for people. Often think that near me is actually what is near you, but the fact is that near me for Google is a keyword, right? There are different factors which comes into play when Google displays the results, but I think this is how on a higher level how the anatomy of keyword research, or what kind of keywords you should go for looks like.
Yeah. Agreed. So after you've got your keywords, after you've got your services, what's next?
The most important piece. See, you'll hear me repeat this sentence. The most important piece of the puzzle, because in here as an expert, I can tell you that every small thing matters in your SEO strategy, right? So another critical piece of information, or the critical of the puzzle, is going to be your Google My Business profile, which is now getting changed to Google Business Profile. So previously it used to be called as GMB, Google My Business, and now it's popularly called as GBP, which is called Google Business Profile, right? So the very first step is to make sure if your business have a Google Business Profile on Google. Now there are two or three scenarios which can happen when you try doing that. It is there, but you don't own it, right? If that's the case, you need to claim it first. And whether you want to, make an effort in local SEO or not, if you have a profile there, go and claim it. Because
This is really important.
yeah, because if your competitor claims it, right, and they can, do anything with that profile, which is going to hurt your business in ways that you cannot even think of, right? So claim your business profiles right after, once you're done with this whole conversation.
Let's explore one of those scenarios. For example, if a competitor claims your Google Business Profile, they use their phone number instead of yours, and maybe they provide poor quality service.
They can probably, start saying that we are not into coffee, or we are not into this, which basically is your bread and butter, right? They can start posting, when somebody calls, let's say they provide their phone number, somebody calls, they have very negative kind of a conversation with them about your brand, right, that you are not even aware of. And the customer who was on the call on the other side, he ends up leaving a bad review. And finally, this competitor who has already claimed your profile, he goes back to the profile and leaves a way more negative review in a reply to that negative review that the customer sent. So, now you, as I said, that, it will hurt you in a ways that you can't even imagine.
This is your reputation. And
Absolutely.
This is what people know about you before they even decide to visit you.
We'll come to it in our later section, but reputation management is a very important part of all your local SEO strategy.
Great. So as a part of this, of course, your business description needs to be filled out. We've got to update your services, fill in the characters and the numbers that they provide with you.
Right.
What is NAP consistency?
I think before we come to the NAP consistency, let me ponder one very important and critical piece: the business category. The business category is very, very important in local SEO because I said it again, very important. All right. So basically, it's important because you need to be as precise as possible, right? If you'll probably go and search the difference between a coffee shop and a cafe, you will probably end up having that these are two different things, right? So if you are actually a cafe, go for the cafe directory. If you're actually just a coffee shop, go for that, right? So you need to research more about your business, that which business category you fall in, and you should cover as many business categories as you can that Google allows, right?
That was
So
going to be my next question. How many can you choose?
Yeah.
But as many as they let you. Probably 5, I think.
When I started doing this, there were a lot of business categories that one can choose from, and thanks to the fact that Google is a huge company with a lot of workforce, they keep on working on the same stuff every day, every second. So there are some changes, but still I think you can choose around 3 to 5 business categories for now. But just make sure that don't try to be vague when it comes to choosing the business category, right? Try to be as precise as you can. Okay, because this is a common mistake while choosing business categories that people make. That if they're a coffee shop, they'll probably end up choosing a restaurant as a business category. Coffee shop is not a restaurant.
Yeah. So business category.
Yeah.
Great. So let's talk about NAP consistency. We ran across this in one of our business meetings this morning. The business owner had moved his address. He went to search for his most valuable keyword in his area, and he said, look, I don't even show up. Let's not talk about the map pack or the snack pack. I click expand and I'm not anywhere listed in Google. What's going on?
That's right. I think NAP consistency. First of all, let me ease it out for you. That NAP is not some big jargon that technical people use to confuse the local stores when they are pitching their services. NAP is just name, address, and phone. Right now, what role it plays is, or when we say NAP consistency, what it actually means is, when you go and type in your address at different places, right, you often make a mistake, or that let's say if I'm at Edward Steak Boulevard, right, so on Google My Business Profile I'm using Edward STEC and then BLVD, right, as my address, whereas when I go to Yelp, and I type in my address, I'll probably end up doing, Edward STCBLVD, right? Instead
Or
of
I go to
BLVD.
Yellow Pages and I
Yep.
want to get listed and I
Right.
type out the whole word, Boulevard.
Absolutely.
And
Now,
that's a problem.
for humans, for you, for me, for him, it's almost the same thing. We'll be able to figure that out. But for Google, BLV and BLVD can be two different places, right? So this consistency needs to be maintained, that all your online presences, wherever your business is listed, right? That's why, as I said, reputation management was important. We'll be coming to reputation. We'll be coming to listing management as well. That you need to be consistent across all the listings on the internet that you have. The same phone number, the same address, and same name.
Every period, every comma, every
Absolutely,
dash
absolutely.
needs to be exactly the same.
And for example, Anthony Prichard Communications, right? So if it's Anthony Prichard Communications at one place, it on any other listing, it cannot be Anthony Prichard Communication. That plural S at the end of communication is way, way important than you can probably think of.
Great, thanks. Well, we're moving right along. In your business profile, obviously, you want to upload attractive photos,
Absolutely.
ones that are
There's-
interesting to look at.
Yep, one, they're interesting to look at. Plus, again, just like keyword research, try to think about the photos as a user might be looking at them, not just as which angle is best. This, if I'll take a picture from this side, my restaurant is looking good. It doesn't work like that. The customer who is stepping in your restaurant will either way see it once he steps in, right? So just make it as real as possible, right?
And I've noticed you can add captions underneath photos.
Absolutely,
You should
absolutely,
also do
and that is very important, so that your photos cannot be misused.
Uh-huh.
You can use the copyright message on your pictures. You can use your again NAP details right at the bottom as a a footer in that, so that let's say if they find your image on Google Images or anywhere else, right, they will know that these are the owner of this. They can probably reach you out, contact you, because you really don't know where your next customer is coming from.
So the final two bullet points on Google Business Profile were users and messages. What's up with that?
Users and messages, and there's one more called FAQ, right? So FAQ is important. Try to fill out, first of all, let me reshare it by saying that try to fill as much information as possible on your Google My Business Profile, or Google Business Profile as they call it now, right? Because consider GBP profile as another website that Google have for you, right? One is the website that you own, you made it, you got it, really refreshingly redesigned or designed, right? Which really looks awesome. But Google has your own website, right? A business website for your business, and that's called GBP, or the Google Business Profile as we are calling it for now, right?
And some people think that the business profile is even more important than the website.
Absolutely.
Because of the reputation component that's built into it that you, the business owner, have no control of.
Absolutely. See,
Other
let me
people
give you
believe 10 times what other people say about you compared to what you say about yourself.
Let me give you an example of how important it is. Big companies like AMC, right? The AMC cinemas, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think we all have been through.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. That I went to it last week watching the Top Gun. So how it's important is that they do not read a reputation, right? People already know what AMC is, where AMC is, right? But every time you go to AMC, you start for a local search, AMC near me, so that you can use the directions, right? So even a company as big as AMC, they need to be present with all the legit and valid information on GBP, because that's their interface with their actual customer, right? We probably might not go to the amc.com or whatever their website is, right? But we will go for a Google search, and their business profile is going to come up first instead of their website, right? And we will have, so as I said, that provide as much detailed information as possible on your Google Business Profile, because that's what is going to bring you new customers. At least it is going to answers all their questions. So there's one thing called FAQ, the frequently asked questions, which is, or questions that are going to be there on the Google Business Profile. All the possible questions which can be regarding your business, you go and you answer those questions. Now, how the FAQ, or the question and answer part, works on Google Business Profile is that, first is, let me tell you, you can not just say write questions over there, but you can also answer those questions as a business owner, right? the priority of different answers depends upon upvotes. So the best way to do it is, let's say if you have a team of 20 people, your family, friends, whenever you post a new answer, new question and an answer to that, ask them for help, to do the upvote for that answer, so that it becomes the most prominent answer. It will still show the rest of the answers that other people have given about your business, which are right, but they might not be as detailed oriented or as accurate as you want them to be. So put in questions.
I know what you're talking about. When I go look for a business on Google, sometimes I see that little blue type that says, do you have a question?
Right.
Ask a question. That's what you're talking about.
That's right. But what I'm saying here is that, consider it as you should have all those questions there well before anyone should actually ask those. Right? Try to cover all the scenarios that you can by already having those questions answered there.
That's really
once
good.
You're optimizing
I haven't
your
heard of that one before. That's a really good one.
Yep, that's because the core of Google is to answer the questions that people are looking for, right?
Yeah.
That's the core of Google. People complicate the SEO. Actually, I won't say complicate, because actually it is complex. But the point is that let's just keep our thoughts simple about it. Google is all about answering the questions in the closest possible way to the right answer, right? So the more you answer the questions, let's say somebody's asking about address of your business, you've already answered that. Exact name, you've already answered. How to reach you, directions are there. How to call you, your number is there. Do you have a window on one side of your cafe? Yep, you have already answered that. How does that window looks like? You've already provided a picture of that. How does your cafe looks like from the outside? Thanks to Google Maps, the 360-degree view, street view is already there. If you want some more, you can always upload a picture by taking the surroundings of your business, not just when somebody steps in the restaurant, but how the restaurant looks like. And now this is a very important piece, because when somebody is driving a car or just walking by, it often happens that you pass by the place that you're looking for very commonly, because you didn't know how the restaurant or the cafe actually looked like from the outside. So do click outside pictures. It's important, because people will be coming to those references first before they actually step into your restaurant.
Yeah, they got to know where they're going before they go there.
Absolutely. So, yep, FAQs is one, and then messages. People can send messages and you can answer them in real time. And it is as simple as that, you can have a mobile app, and you will get a ping that you got a
download
message.
the free Google Business
That's
Profile
right.
mobile
That's right.
app. You'll get notified wherever you're at. You can say, "Oh, somebody's interested in my services."
Let me tell you that I'm not an expert from the day one, right? I got to know about these messages because I opened my My Business Profile after a very long time, right? And I saw there are 6 messages. There were 6 actual real people asking for proposal for the services that we provide, and I had no clue that it existed, right? So this is a go check your profile, check your messages. It's important. Every single customer of yours is important. You are bound to deliver at least answer to all your customers who are asking questions.
Where before we were only limited to the telephone number and the telephone book,
That's
now
right.
our digital business profile allows for many ways of communication back and forth to businesses.
The analogy is same, but I think the digital business profile is way more important, because you used to look at the yellow pages while you were at home or office. Whereas now with the digital business profile, you can actually look at it while you're moving from your office to home. How best gift center around my home so that I can, not get beaten up because I missed the anniversary gift.
That's right. Very good. All right. So after that, we've kind of covered the bases when it comes to our keywords, because we've gone to our business profile, we've told Google what our business is about. Now they know to present us as a very relevant result when somebody types in one of those keywords that presents to us.
Right.
Okay, let's say we've done all that and we're still not seeing our business as high as we want it to be doing. What else can we do?
Easiest way to do that is that do a detailed competitor analysis. What your competitor is doing that you are missing out on, right?
Okay.
So first thing, you can start with that. Another thing that you are not paying the continuous effort. As you can see on the screen, The continuous effort is what you keep on doing to make sure that it's not an abandoned ship, right? The business is still runs, right? There are still people coming to that place, and how you can show that by posting regular pictures, regular offers. For local businesses, posting regular offers is one of the easiest way to stay relevant, which is convenient as well, because that's a new piece of content, and it gives an offer and a motivation to the new customer to come to your place and probably utilize that offer. And obviously if your stuff is really good, they are certainly going to come back. But that breaking the ice with the new customer, right? Basically making that new user a customer by making them step into your store, that's more important. So whatever you can post in the Google business profile, just like you do it on social media, right? But do not mark this, do not copy what you're posting on your Facebook and just make a simple copy and post it on Google business profile, because Google business profile is not your social media profile. It's a place that is again answering questions, right? If you've been featured in top 10 places in your area, that's a good place, because that keeps the user updated that okay, this restaurant is old, but they recently got featured in this, right? So that is somehow it is still relevant. Whereas just posting about it's Google My Business is, or Google business profile is not a place for posting motivational quotes. I think that's the easiest way how I can put it. But do post it.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of running low on time, but another way that I know to show up highly for local keywords is by using YouTube.
Absolutely.
So I have an example of this that I can share, and I thought I would just share my screen to open up a new tab on Google and type in and this is the video right here that I posted on Saturday, 3 days ago, for this keyword. Colorado's best business growth event. I was a keynote speaker, and as a result, I published this video on YouTube with this keyword as the title. I also included it in the description and in the meta tags. So as you can see here, this keyword is here in the description. There's the name, address, phone number, as we talked about. Links to social media, YouTube, and other links. We also use the timestamps in there, which show up here at the bottom.
Right.
So this is very indexable by Google, and they view YouTube as a very relevant result.
YouTube is the second biggest. Can you just go back to that one more time? I can just lay stress on the same video, right? Okay, so as you can see, it says Colorado's best business growth event, right? So the anatomy that we discussed today, the growth event is the core term, right? Best business is the modifier.
Okay.
And Colorado's is the location.
Yeah.
Right. So Colorado's best business growth event, right?
That's why it does so well.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons, because you really make some beautiful videos. So I'm not going to give all the credit to that.
Well, if you want to see it, go ahead and go over there and watch it if you'd like. But that is really our overview, and it sounds like you guys were listening to rock music most of the time, because I didn't turn it off right away in the beginning of the broadcast. So big apologies for that, and hopefully you got something out of this. If you have any questions for Paritosh, go ahead and go to his website. I'll go ahead and type it into the comments. Paritosh, what is a last closing remark that you would like to leave with our viewers?
Okay, so I'll stack it in a way that first, do not ignore your Google business profile. If you don't have it, make it. If you have it, haven't claimed it, claim it, right? Start using it. Be updated with the information. Provide as much information as you can on your profile. Stay relevant, stay updated, stay detailed, and stay consistent, right? the continuous effort that you are going to put on your profile, that is going to play a major role in your rankings, right? So do not forget to do that. And it doesn't have to be, a very corporate or, a very finished thing. You can stay real, right? But just be consistent about it.
Thanks for watching.